Hello. It's a pleasure for me to introduce Adam Salamov. He's a member of the Austrian team, and he talks about Born as a Refugee. Big applause.
Has any one of you ever been scared for your own life? Have you ever been scared for the life of those who are dear to you? Or have you ever not felt safe in your own home? So, what I want to talk about firstly is my own journey as a refugee. I'm from Chechnya. It is a small country located in the northern Caucasus near Russia, before it lost its independence in 1999. Nowadays, it's just a Republic of Russia, but there are still some conflicts. So there started a second war, the Second Chechen War, between Russia and the Chechen Republic of Ichkeria, which lasted from 1999 and 2009. I was born in 2004, on the 2nd March. But luckily for me, I wasn't born in the war zone, because my family decided to flee from there on the 25th of February in 2004. So I was born on a run in the Ukraine, Uzhhorod. We stayed there for like 2 weeks. After that, we got to Slovakia, where we stayed another 1.5 months. After that, we got to Austria, where the police took us to a refugee camp called Traiskirchen Vienna. But they didn't have any room for us, so we had to move from there the same day. We stayed at another refugee camp, and there we stayed for like 3 months. After that, we got to Linz, another refugee camp. There, we stayed for like 3 months, and where we had our asylum interview. After that, we finally arrived in Vorarlberg at the end of September, where we spent a week at a bus terminal, living on the streets at a bus terminal. After a week or so, my father had enough of it. He couldn't bear it anymore, seeing his wife and children starve and freeze. So he made a proposal to send us back to Chechnya, to the war zone. But lucky for us, right after that, we got a room in a refugee camp in Frastanz, also located in Vorarlberg. And my father took back the proposal to send us back. We stayed there for like 2 months, and then we finally got our first accommodation in Salzburg, in Vorarlberg. There we stayed also half a year, till we find our way to beautiful Bregenz. There, my parents worked and visited a lot of German courses. My father, for example, even though he studied jurisprudence in Volgograd, it wasn't recognized in Austria, so he would have to restudy it, which he couldn't, because he had a family and 4 children to take care of and feed. So he got a job as a lorry driver, which he is still working as today. I'm very glad I didn't have to witness anything or everything my family has to encounter, but I'm here to talk about it and spread awareness about it. Afghanistan, Syria, Southern Sudan, Iraq, and most recently Ukraine. All of these countries I named above are one of the highest refugee producers of all time. There are 103 million people on the run from war, violence, exactly right now. If you compare it to 10 years ago, the amount of refugees has doubled, and we even surpassed the refugees of the Second World War. Why are there so many refugees, you may ask? The most common reason people become refugees is persecution, which can mean many ways, as national, religious, social, racial, or political. The second most reason people become refugees is war, which is the reason my family became refugees. In third place, we got gender and sexual orientation. The fourth reason is hunger. There are 820 million people on the world right now suffering from immense hunger, and there are 17 million people across the African continent displaced due to hunger, and only a few of them make it to the European shores. How can we help them? I'm not just talking about donating money. I'm talking about stuff you can implement on your daily basis. For example, you have a refugee classmate or any sports colleague or any other refugee you know from your free time. Just go ahead and talk to them. Try to be nice to them. Often people that come from war and violence are suffering from traumas and are scared to talk to people. So you go ahead and make the first step. Even if it means nothing to you, it will definitely have a positive impact on the person's life. Hunger, starvation. Are refugees preventable? For example, refugees that had to abandon their homeland because there wasn't enough food. Look at all the food that gets thrown away by the supermarkets, by the big restaurants, or even by us. It all adds up to 930 million tons of food thrown away per year. Imagine how many people we could feed with that. So yes, refugees are definitely preventable to me.